Okay, so let's get started. This is the sample piece again that I'm going to be coloring, and I'm going to start with my two greens, which are my pastel green and my leaf green. Definitely two greens you have to have in your collection. And I'm just going to start by coloring this image in. And this might play with your mind a little bit because there aren't any, there's no connecting line right there, so what do? Well, I'm just going to do like a sexy little girl, little tiny waist right there. I don't know if it's sexy or not on a butterfly, but that's what we're going for. And then I'm just going to color this in. And then right here, you can just do whatever you want. I'm just going to maybe bring it up like that. And then color that. And let's see, I might go ahead and I think I'm going to do more like a teardrop shape right there. And then I'm going to color in the surrounding area. There's no right or wrong, it's just do whatever you think. Okay, so we've got that colored in and my ink is still really wet. Now I'm going to go in with my darker of the two greens. We're only using two greens for this. And there's really no rhyme or reason to this. We're just going to do basic, following the lines, getting you comfortable with using your twin touch markers. Now, if you're familiar with Copic markers, these are alcohol markers as well. The same idea as Copic. So if you're used to using Copic, these won't be any different for you, except our Close to My Heart twin touch markers. We have this fine tip on one end, and then the other end is the chisel tip. And I have to say, every tip on every marker that I've ever used, you have to have them all. I love every one of them. Every one has a purpose. And there's a learning curve to each one of them as well. And you just have to start using them to figure that out. And then, yeah, let's leave it like that. Now on my sample that I did, I don't know if you can see it, but I did each side of the butterfly different because I was trying to decide which I liked best. And here I went in and did it darker right there, and on this side lighter. I think we're going to go lighter because this is just a beginner video and I just want you to get comfortable with using your markers. Then we're going to go in with our lighter color, and using our coloring in circles, I'm not going to butt way up to the edge of that line. I just want to get it right here, and I'm going to blend. And I'm just doing tiny little circles right here just to blend that in. In some areas I'll do straight lines. It's okay to use different techniques to get together. The more you use your markers and get comfortable with them, you'll find that you start mixing a lot of techniques together. It's just what you get familiar with. The more you use them, the more little tricks you'll learn. So we're just going to drop that in there. And let's just go in and add some color here. That's actually called feathering. That's in another video. So then I'm going to go in with my lightest blue, and we're going to color in this area here. And then I'm going to carefully bring that down to the point. And then my little teardrop isn't much of a teardrop anymore because I'm so heavy-handed, but that's okay. These colors blend together so nicely, and I don't mind if a little bit of the color bleeds into the others. These are so close to the same color families that they look really nice together. And then I'm just adding in my darker color there. Then I'm going to go back with my lightest blue, and I'm just going to go over that line and that line. And then I would do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and get this other side colored. I'm going to exaggerate that a little bigger this time, so hopefully I don't get as crazy. You hear one of my cats playing in the background. There's a game going on down at McPherson College. It's not a McPherson College game, it's a high school game, I believe. So I keep hearing the announcer out there, and my kitties are in here and under the desk, and I'm waiting for them to get up here and start coloring. Okay, and now, whoops, I'm losing this. And now I'm going to go in with my darker green. And again, I'm just doing just basic coloring here. I just want you to get the markers in your hands and do something that you feel successful with. And if your customers have this, or if you're new to the markers and you just need to start playing with them, this is really great. This might be an image that, this wasn't the first image I thought of when I thought with my markers, because it just didn't scream to me coloring, but it really is great for a beginner. Okay, and let's go ahead and we're just going to drop some color in there. Grab our lightest blue. And you'll notice that you don't have those lines, and that's the nature of the alcohol ink. You won't have those ziggity cross lines in there. If you do, it's because you don't have an even coat of ink on. You can tell when these markers are nowhere close to running dry, but I do have a lot of Copics that are. And when your markers are starting to get dry, you'll see that, and that's a good indicator that you need to refill them. But then you sometimes don't want to refill them because you can get some really good looks with that too. So alcohol markers are awesome. Okay, so we've got our greens colored. Now I'm going to pull my yellows. This is the lightest yellow that I have right here, and I'm just going to start dropping in some color, and then I purposefully want to leave some white area right there. We're going to make this really easy. That's all we did was basically draw, I think it was 3 lines. And I'm going to drop, this is my darker yellow color. What is this called? This is Marigold. So I dropped a line there, and then I'm just going to go over these lines. Just like that. Now that one's a little thicker, but just want to go over them, and I might drop a little in there. And then I'm going to go back with my lighter yellow and just soften that line a little bit. And there we have colored the image. Now when we come back, I'm going to show you some little tips you can do with this with your colorless blender.